Okay,
No, so do I. They're
let's.
in a different class, but that doesn't mean though when your best guy cannot really get a shot for himself and doesn't trust himself at the free throw line, you have an offensive ceiling.
Yeah.
Like you just do and when and Middleton, for as good as he is, I think he's a gamer, and I also think he's like a good dude, and I actually enjoy watching him. But he kind of has that Paul George thing in him when he's Ryan Russillo always says this thing where Paul George is capable of 30, but
Yep.
also capable of scoring 13, and that's what Middleton has. Middleton is just lacking that extra thing of consistency, and I still think he's awesome. But I just wanted to say on the Nash thing, I think what separates Nash in these situations, because let's be real, I don't know what his game plan really was, and I don't really know the Nets had some unbelievable offensive set going because I just don't think they did.
No,
But
he actually did more on defense.
yeah, right,
He
exactly. With
he
Nash,
did. Yeah, it's
with
very
Nash,
weird, but I just noticed a lot of good defensive.
for sure.
They didn't stop anybody, but they were where they're supposed to be.
What Nash, where Nash separates himself, though, personally, what I think is that because he's a player and because he was a great,
A
insanely
great player.
cerebral, great player, Hall of Famer. I think he understands that at the end of the day, this is a superstar league, and I think I give a lot of sports cross sport comparisons, and I think what he basically did was he was like, I'm gonna do the thing that the Bucks want me to do the least, which was I'm just gonna unleash Durant because the Bucks are probably like, look, yeah, let anybody else shoot, and Nash was like, look, I have the best player in the series, and I'm playing him 48 minutes. And to me, it's the same thing where
Yeah.
a coach decides that his bread and butter is passing, but then he starts to go to the run, and that's exactly what the defense wants them to do. Like Nash repeatedly did the exact thing over and over again, which was feed Durant. And why Budenholzer didn't double Durant at any moment in this game is beyond
And at what point does Giannis demand to guard him?
Yeah, that's another thing. Look, I honestly could do, in part because I have a bunch of friends who are Bucks fans. I could do an entire podcast about Budenholzer's coaching because at this point we're all
They
experts in the
complain
Bucks.
about it.
Yeah,
Everybody complains about the coach.
look, the Nets could absolutely still lose this series, and I'm not going to lose it on Nash. But if you're a Bucks fan, whether you win or lose this series, I just don't know how you
Yeah,
how you live with yourself about him. But
we got to talk about Harden.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I look. It's not Giannis's fault that he came up against Harden. There's no coach. There's no person. He's the best player in the NBA, and nobody was stopping him tonight. Nobody.
Yeah, but can you do this again? Can we get 7 threes from Jeff Green again?
on 48 hours and a flight to Milwaukee.
I would hope they
Yeah.
flew out tonight, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm assuming, yeah, probably.
What are we going to do about Harden?
He plays.
But the people who think who are questioning whether he should sit for six and then prep.
I think you'll see more Mike James on the road.
Yeah, I agree. I have very, very, very strong takes about Game 6. If we want to jump into there, I personally think that this Bucks team has in their short Giannis history, they have a lot of bad fucking losses and even bad losses at home. And this is a team that, let's not forget, they got absolutely waxed against the Heat, who were a worse team than them, but basically just totally gut punched them multiple times. They were up 2-0 on the Raptors and then lost 4 straight. This is a team that when
They will. They'll yield.
yeah, and also their fans know it, and you can feel it as someone who's been on the other side of this stuff when you're going against a team and you know that the other team has the guys that actually can stick a knife in your back. Once things start to get tight and then your fucking sphincter tightens, that the arena is going to be silent, which is why I actually think that if I'm the Nets, I really look at this as like, no, let's fucking win Game 6 because
of course,
want to go home. Like,
of course, their mindset.
I think a lot of people on Twitter are saying like, no, like this is like 6 is gravy, whatever. Like the Nets.
No,
the Nets,
you win 6. You win Game 6.
Let
me read something to you guys. Let me read something to you guys. So this is from We Got This Covered, sports blog, more NBA blog, but whatever. It says Game 5. Note to playoff teams: win Game 5 in a 2-2 series tie. An away team winning Game 5 leads to an enormous 28.8% increase to win the series. A home team winning Game 5 has a relatively smaller increase at 19.9%. But a loss would destroy their odds, and they would drop to 44.8% to 16%. So tonight was massive.
Of course, it was the swing game of the series so far, and they have to go in with the mindset of don't let them jump out again on you. Be down 4 at the end of the first quarter. Keep this game close. The longer it stays tight, where Durant can go off and steal it. You're right. The pressure completely shifts to them, and we would have we have the guy that we think is the best player.
Right.
So they cannot expect to just, we got Game 7 at home. They could easily lose that game. Think about what it took to win tonight.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's exactly, and that's why I think that if you come out, look, if we come out in Game 6 and Joe Harris hits like 2 threes in the first 4 minutes of the game, that arena is going to be like silent. Like that is, and that's a team, as we've seen, that the Nets have proven they can come back on the Bucks, but can the Bucks come back on us? Like that's the question. And
right.
And look, like that Bucks team, when things got tighter today, like they start to become like discombobulated. Like you had Giannis taking fadeaway like jumpers on Hart in the corner. Middleton hit the side of the rim. They started fouling. They got in, and the Nets get into the bonus. Like this is a team that you actually can knock out. This isn't like Pat Riley's Heat or anything like that. Like this is
it'll be a winnable game, but I think the hope is obviously you get a little bit more out of James each game.
Yep.
He missed all of his threes tonight. Can he shoot 2 for 6 in the next one? Just get 2 of them, and then a couple free throws.
What was
the game?
Harris 1 of 8.
Something to that effect.
1 of 7. He's basically been non-existent now for 3. What is it? 3 games now or 2? 3 games.
Yeah.
It hasn't looked good, but I think they could wake up. There has to be maybe 2 games in there where he's gonna shoot like 50% or something, and if he does, I think that bodes well for us. So I'll give my prediction. Bam, you go next, and Sam, you finish up. Game 6, I see a win. I think this crushed the Bucks' soul. They were up by 19. They had this game, and I think Giannis right now is the poster child for demoralized. Kevin Durant reached into the Milwaukee Bucks collective chest and ripped their heart out. They lie like dogs in front of their home crowd in Game 6, and we win, taking over in the fourth quarter and going away. And we'll rest up a little bit while the Sixers struggle with the Hawks. Thank God. That's
first
my
off,
prediction.
We have to root for that series to go 7, and we're obviously rooting very hard for Atlanta. And
we're
rooting
you see
our
how
asses
you
off
see
for
Embiid dragging ass, Embiid,
and we're rooting our asses off for Atlanta to win the series.
Yep.
I'll take either one of them.
Look, I don't think we're gonna win Thursday. I do think we'll have a chance. I think that we'll be able to weather the early storm.
Yep.
And it won't be a game where we have to feverishly come back. So we won't need the 50,
Right.
But I think I'll see you at the Barclays Center Saturday night. And look, we look. We need to see Harden play better. It's hard to see them winning these games if he plays like this. He was.
Kyrie's officially out, right? So we don't even have to discuss him.
He was. I would think so. And look, James was generally useless tonight, and he took a bad three.
Not useless. He did a lot of other things, and he was a decoy.
Me and Bam were getting cornered out in the Twitter wild about because we both basically thought that Harden at least in the first half and even after, like, I mean, I think his presence obviously helps, but like, I mean, he had a ton of like just horrendous play. He had some bad fouls. The travel was horrible. He
could barely move on defense. It was bad.
Defense, I mean, on defense, by the way, it's not just that his man got by him and he had to do the thing like that you do in pickup when like you're slower than the guy, which is you let the guy go in front of you and then you try to tip it out from behind. Like that's basically like the out of shape move.
That's my go-to move.
It's all of our move. Like that's what you got. Like, if you have someone faster, that's what Harden did that on Holiday and Middleton and all of them. He's basically playing Olay on them, and but not only that, but then it led to like wide open threes. I mean, like Harden's man wasn't necessarily scoring, but a lot of Brooks threes came because of the extra pass going that way. But I mean, I'm probably with Bam. I think Thursday night's going to be kind of similar to the Game 3 loss. Whether it'll be as atrocious scoring-wise, I don't know. But
don't say that.
It strikes me as a game that's going to be.
I can't stomach that.
It strikes me as a game that's going to be frustrating, but I don't see them winning. I mean, look, and let's also be real. And I'm actually curious what you guys think. I mean, did you think the game was officiated differently today than it was in the two games in Milwaukee?
Not too much.
Yeah, I thought
it's very physical.
But
it should be. I'd rather them stay out of it.
No, I agree. I just thought the first two games in Brooklyn, I thought were more ticky-tack on both sides, which is why I think Durant had the reaction he did to 3 and 4, where Tucker really, like, I think just kind of – I mean, the things that Tucker gets away with are still kind of insane to me. I don't really get it. But
how much fun did Kevin Durant have tonight?
Killing Tucker.
That must have been so much fun for him.
Just destroying.
I had so much fun playing like CYO in high school basketball.
No, that type of domination, because it was special because of how hard he was going. Like PJ Tucker was like trying so hard to not let Kevin Durant toast him, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, this is my last thing I'll say too for the night. I'm hard on him, but the crowd brought it in that second half.
Yeah, we did.
That was a real crowd.
Yeah, no, it's developing culture. You know what I'm saying? Like I love what I'm seeing at Barclays. People's texting me and DMing me videos from the game, which is dope. I like we're building a culture, man. We're brand new, and these games is gonna establish who we are going forward, man. I couldn't be more thrilled that we came back tonight, and I thought the fans never gave up, which was amazing for us because we are a fan base that has a lot of anxiety.
Oh, yeah. Let's also, by the way, I know we brought him up already, but it's almost more been like, are we going to get this performance again? I mean, that Jeff Green performance was like, I mean,
have we not mentioned? Did we mention Jeff Green? Oh my God, what a sin!
Bam's definitely mentioned him, and I think as a whole we all have. But like, just needs to be said, like that was an insane, and that's like, I mean, when you look back on like knock on wood or like championship runs or whatever it is, whether it's like Mike Miller's game in the finals with the Heat or that was a Robert Horry
game.
Yeah, like that was, I mean, and he was also doing he was making the threes that were the exact type of shots of why I always loved the idea of a Dinwiddie type guy, because he makes shots when no one else is, and that was basically what Green was doing. I mean, the Nets were dead. Like
he hit his first 7 threes.
I mean, when we
think about that,
we look back on this game.
Robert Horry.
when we look back on this game, like the biggest, if you're the